Good morning and welcome to another video of the Fireside Chat for Asbury Elementary. It's October 12th and I'm Mrs. Fajon, principal at Asbury. Our newsletter this month is about a couple of really high-level important pieces of information you need to know, and then some additional day-to-day things to remember. First, we have our Halloween parade coming up at the end of the month. It will be on Halloween. We'll start at 2 o'clock. You may come in and help your child get ready with costumes. We will do a parade and then end the day with parties in the classroom. Please remember, no weapons, masks, or scary costumes, as we have many little ones in the building. We look forward to celebrating with you. Also remember that this time of year, the weather can be all over the place. It can be hot in the afternoon and freezing in the morning, so please send your children with appropriate clothing. We will always go outside unless of extreme weather. So boots, pants, jackets, hats, all of the above are encouraged if the children go outside. You should have received something in your Thursday folders recently about Ruler, which is our social emotional program here at Asbury Elementary. It focuses on regulating and understanding your emotions, and it walks through the steps of some of the things we do here in the building. We encourage you to talk about it at home and ask your children what color they are that day. Let us know your feedback. Another reminder, October 19th, 22nd, and 23rd are non-student contact days. It's fall break for you and planning days for us. But just remember that we will not have students on the 19th, 22nd, and 23rd. And last but not least, with updates, October 20th is the pumpkin patch here at Asbury. Come and buy all of your pumpkins and get them decorated and see your friends on October 20th from 8:30 to 1 on our school playground. The last piece of information I want to share with you today is about our school performance framework update. I'm going to read the letter that's going to come home with you today, but there's lots of very important information to hear in this video. But we will also come back together on November 6th from 3:30 to 4:30 for our CSC meeting, which are always open to everybody, but this one in particular will be important to come to. We will get granular and get into the details of our SPF, or School Performance Framework, so you know what we're working on as a building. So sharing a little bit about our results. So the SPF is like a report card for schools. It comes from the district and it allows the schools to understand where we're challenging children and where we are not quite meeting the mark. It talks about what growth we're making. It focuses on literacy, math, science, how our children who are second language learners are doing, children on individual education plans are doing, and starts to get into the nitty-gritty of growth and their status, not only on tests, but also around engagement and satisfaction. So a few things to understand within the breakdown. Asbury is green overall in our status, which means that all of the children at Asbury, when we are talking about whether or not we are meeting expectation on district-wide tests, Asbury is green. We are meeting expectations. More than 50% of our children are meeting expectations on our district test and our state test. We are green in growth, which means that our children are growing leaps and bounds. All of our children are going green and growth. And this is really the one that matters in the building. Are children growing regardless of what they have happening in their lives? We are green in community satisfaction, meaning our children are satisfied with their education and the families are satisfied with their education. This is also very important to us, that we have this feedback about how our community is feeling about their level of satisfaction at Asbury. However, within our report, the academic gaps rating is yellow. And what this means is that historically, children who have been underserved, which includes children who speak a second language, could be children of color, children who live below the poverty line, are not making the growth we hoped that they would. And so because we are yellow in our academic gaps, the district will not allow a building to be green or blue overall because of this rating. And so that means in the 2018 school year, Asbury is yellow overall on the school performance framework. We have very high expectations for our students, and we are making so much progress. Our growth across the board shows that children are learning more and more every day, but we still have a lot of work to do, especially improving opportunities for our traditionally underserved students. And so this SPF rating reflects not only the wonderful things we're doing, green in status, green in growth, and green in community engagement, but the work we have yet to do, which is closing the academic and opportunity gap for all of our children. And so one of the things I want to talk about is highlighting where we've seen good success and where we're going. So on CMAS, our statewide tests, math, literacy, and science, our students met expectations overall. In math and science, we exceeded expectations compared to similar schools. Our kindergartners all met the district aim line for literacy expectations. Students who were below grade level in 1st through 3rd grade caught up to their peers and are now meeting expectations. So our focus on literacy over the past few years and our focus on intervention is closing gaps. Moving forward, some of the things we're focusing on is understanding the expectations of speaking and listening and reading and writing, the domains of language, in order to bolster supports for our English language learners and children who are language learners in general, which is all children. We're focused on tightening up systems around data collection and intervention to support children who are significantly below grade level, and above grade level. How are we continuing to challenge children who meet the mark every time? And how are we closing the gap for children who are coming in with less experience? The other thing that we are focused on is continuing to bolster our intervention staff. So we have 1.5 interventionists in our building who support children who are significantly below grade level, and we're working to hire paraprofessionals to continue to meet with more children on an individualized basis to get what they need in their hands. We recognize that this information around the SPF is always hard. It's hard for our community who knows how hard their teachers work to hear that we are yellow overall. But you have to know that when I share this with staff, the first thing they say is, what are we going to do? How are we going to meet the needs of all children in our building? And my ask is, as a community, you also ask those questions. How do we come together to support all 340 children, all 60 staff members, and all 1,000 of us as a community to keep pushing towards green and then blue? We know and are confident we will get back to where we need to be, which is high expectations, high growth, and closing the opportunity gap for all children at Asbury. Please don't hesitate to reach out with questions that you have about this information, and we encourage everyone to join us on November 6th at the CSC meeting. We will go through in detail the SPF framework. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Go Eagles.